Today on TFL Bike, we are running through the 2023 BMW motorcycle lineup. So this is every single bike that BMW is making, and we're going to talk about the basic differences between them, the different models. And production of 2023 models starts in August of 2022. There's new colors, new styles, new standard equipment, and packages. So let's jump right into it.
Yeah, and before we jump in, not every single one of these bikes has changes to it, but a lot of them do. Some of them are more minor or more major than others, but we just want to run you through the whole model lineup. So if you're thinking about buying a BMW motorcycle this year, this is a good place to start. And this is the first time we've done a video like this, so let us know down in the comments below if this helped you, and we can repeat the same formula for the other manufacturers.
Yeah, we could do it for any manufacturer. But starting on the smaller end, you have the C400 Gt. This is classified as an urban scooter. It has a 350cc single-cylinder engine, and it starts at $8,245. So it's not an inexpensive scooter, but you do get a lot.
Yeah, and 350cc, that's pretty big for a scooter. BMW is kind of known for this, putting big, powerful motors in their scooters, whereas the other manufacturers, some of them have some big scooters, but most of the time you see like little 150s and really small scooters. And what I like about the BMW scooters is they're full of features. There's also a setting for the comfort turn indicator in the menus. Basically just makes it easier to switch off your turn signal. It'll kind of do it automatically.
And every C400 GT model in the US automatically gets a premium package, and that gets you a heated seat and heated grip. So $8,200 for a scooter is a lot, but this isn't your standard 50cc scooter. You get a ton of features, and that's a similar case with our next. This is the CE04. This is an electric urban scooter, 8.9 kilowatt hour battery, 75 mile per hour top speed. It can charge to 100% from zero in an hour and 40 minutes with a quick charger. It has an 80-mile range, and it also features regen braking. So there's a lot of features on this that rival some electric motorcycles. And because of that, the pricing starts at $11,795, but it's a really unique looking bike.
Yeah, it's really cool. That's the best part of the bike, is how it looks with all the orange accents on it. They have like an orange windscreen.
Orange.
We did a video, yeah, orange. He makes fun
Orange.
of the way I say that word because I'm from Philadelphia. But anyway, we did a video on this bike already a few months ago. I was out in California and had a chance to kind of walk up and poke my head around it, play with all the settings. So go check that video out. But yeah, like Case said, just a crazy unique design. You get that comfort turn indicator setting in the menu just like the other bike. And also, all of the CE04s for this year are going to get the premium package, which gets you an adaptive headlight, Ride Modes Pro, ABS Pro, the quick charge capability, a heated seat, and that TPMS tire pressure monitoring system, as well as a center stand.
Now, moving the next step up in the lineup, we get into full-on motorcycles, and that starts with the G310s. There's the G310R and the G310 GS. Now, the GS is an entry-level adventure bike, whereas the 310R is an entry-level naked. Both very affordable. The G310R starts at $4,995, and the G310 GS starts at $5,695. Both bikes have a 313cc single-cylinder engine, 34 horsepower, around about 20 pound-feet of torque, and they weigh just under 400 pounds. So they're very small, light, approachable bikes for a very approachable price. That's pretty nice. And actually, the G310 GS has 7.1 inches of travel in the front and the rear, which is pretty good, and a luggage rack. And then the G310R is just a really cool looking, more road-oriented bike.
Yeah, both these bikes have some new color schemes for this year, so you can get a fresh look if you're looking for that. And yeah, like Case said, very lightweight, very affordable, easy to get into, still have that BMW build quality in an entry-level motorcycle.
Now, the next step up is also in the adventure category. This is the F750 GS, so it's kind of a mid-level adventure bike. It's not huge, but 853cc inline two-cylinder engine, 77 horsepower, 61 pound-feet of torque. Top speed is listed at 118 miles per hour, and you get 6.7 inches of travel front, 7.6 in the rear. So a little bit more travel in the rear, a little bit less in the front than the 310, but this is a much bigger, more powerful bike with a bigger price tag, $9,995.
Yeah, that's definitely a big step up. But you also, just like the last scooter we talked about, they're all going to get the premium package for this year. So you have a GPS prep package, cruise control, LED headlight, gear shift assist pro, ride mode pro, heated grips, luggage rack. Plenty of extras in there. There's a lot to go through in that premium package. You can check it all out on their website. Both of us are pretty big fans of those kind of middleweight adventure bikes.
Yeah, it's a nice size for both on-road and off-road. It's not too big for off-roading, and it's not too small and low-powered for going on-road. And it's a big step up in price from the 310, but a lot of tech. And then if you want to go the next step up from there, you can look at the F850 GS. This is also a mid-range adventure bike, 853cc engine with 90 horsepower and 63 pound-feet of torque. And the 850 GS comes in at $12,595. And just like the 750, you get tons and tons of tech on this model, but even more power.
Yeah, so just like the last bike, the 750 we talked about, LED headlight, gear shift assist pro, ride modes pro. I'm not going to go through the whole list on all these bikes because you can go check out every little detail on the BMW website. But there's also the GS Adventure, the F850 GS Adventure. You can think of that as more of the premium offering over the standard F850 GS. So you're going to get pretty much all the same stuff, but different graphics, a little bit of a different, more premium look, adjustable levers, an adjustable windscreen, enduro foot pegs, an engine guard, hand guards, and a luggage rack, and also a different color scheme as well. And you're looking at $13,595 for that. So $1,000 extra to jump up to the Adventure with those extra features.
Next up on our list, we have the F900s. There's the F900R and the F900XR. The R is a naked and the XR is a sport tourer. Both bikes use an 895cc inline two-cylinder, 99 horsepower, 67 pound-feet of torque, and they claim about 124 mile per hour top speed, and it weighs about 465 pounds wet. Pricing-wise, these start at $8,995 for the R and $11,695 for the XR, which is not too bad in terms of price for the size of bike that you're getting.
All right, now moving on to kind of their heritage bikes, the R9t. They've got just one of the coolest looks of any motorcycle on the market.
That's why we put it on screen.
We've got one on the screen right here. I especially love this color package here with kind of the gold wheels, the green and white tank. Beautiful looking bikes, but Case, why don't you walk us through some of the differences between the different models?
Yeah, because this is more my style. So I'm going to go ahead and go out and say it. This is the coolest bike that we're going to walk through on this list. I'm sure Alex agrees. So the R9t, 1170cc air and oil cooled twin cylinder engine, horizontally opposed, very classic for BMW, 109 horsepower, 85 pound-feet of torque. Pricing starts at $10,995 for the Pure, which is the very base model, then $12,995 for the Scrambler and the Urban GS, which have a little bit more style added to them, and $15,945 for the top model R9t. So a little bit more into what makes these bikes different. The Pure is as basic as possible, so you get standard upright forks, not inverted forks. You get a steel tank, very simple. Then the Scrambler gets some more rugged parts and styling. The Urban GS is also more rugged looking, and it's got a mad cool headlight shroud, a high-mounted front fender, really cool color options on it. That one's my personal favorite that they still make. And then the very top model gets inverted forks, adjustable suspension, an aluminum tank, better brakes. So that's going to be your best components that you can get on an R9t. One bike that they don't make anymore, discontinued a couple of years ago, is the R9t Racer, which was a cafe racer version of the bike. That was also a really badass version, but now it's just those four.
Yeah, bring that back, BMW. I love the look of that fairing on the front. You need to keep making that bike because...
Make that bike, but give it the inverted forks and the nicer components that's on the top model R9T.
There you go.
Because that combination of the style and the substance would have been perfect.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy one, but you should still make it BMW.
I would, so that's one sale already. And then the other heritage classified bike is the R18, which we've done a bunch of videos with in the past. These are cruisers, baggers. It's an 1802cc air and oil cooled boxer, 91 horsepower, 116 pound-feet of torque. And pricing starts at $15,995 for the base, $18,995 for the classic. That gets you some extra lighting, a windshield, soft bags on the side. Then $21,945 for the R18B, which gets you a big fairing on the front and hard cases on the side. And then the top model Transcontinental, which is those same fairing top cases that you get on the R18B plus a top case. The Transcontinental starts at $24,995. These are some of the most expensive bikes in BMW's lineup, but both of these heritage bikes, the R9t and the R18, are beautifully constructed, really nice materials. The R18 is one of the most stunning bikes to interact with that I've ever been around. It's gorgeous.
We had the bagger at the office for a while, and not my style, but wow, poking my head around that, the build quality and the finishes
beautifully made
everywhere on that bike, it was just insane. That is a gorgeous motorcycle.
And now we get into Alex's category of BMW bikes.
Yeah, these are going to be the most exciting bikes on the list. Case will disagree with that, but I've been waiting to talk about these. So we'll start off with the S1000RR. That's their fully faired sport bike, 999cc inline 4, making 205 horsepower and 83 foot-pounds of torque. Case looks very bored right now. That's going for $16,995, so basically $17,000, and you can spec those up with the M package. You can make them even crazier in terms of price. Then you move up to the M1000RR, which is new for this year. Basically, better brakes, carbon bits, winglets, and everything you get on an M package S1000RR.
$32,495. Is that a typo?
And now we're going to move on to the M1000RR 50 years, which basically you're going to get special badging, a lap timer, rear seat cover, the M carbon package, the M billet package, a clear anodized swing arm, and that M endurance chain that everyone's kind of raging about with BMW, less maintenance on the chain. $36,995 for that one.
Why do you ride fast? What's the point? That's so expensive. Do you need to go that fast?
You just talked about a $25,000 Transcontinental that you said you love.
What else do you got?
And then moving on from there, so those are the three kind of S1K and M1K bikes. So you have the M1250 Rs, that's got the special color on it. And then there's also the R1250 Rs. So this is their very sporty touring bike, 1254cc twin-cylinder boxer engine. So if you want a boxer engine, you like that classic BMW thing, but you want it in more of a naked, upright bike that you can ride on the streets pretty quickly, this is your bike, the R1250 Rs, and that's going to cost you $15,695.
Now, again, in this bigger class of higher displacement bikes, we've got the R1250 Gs, which all of you adventure riders have probably been waiting for us to go through. This is a 1254cc boxer engine, 136 horsepower, 105 pound-feet of torque, so familiar specs, 5-gallon tank, $17,995, but the 1250 GS is just a staple of adventure bikes, and it has been for a long time.
If you live in Colorado where we do, and you've got a 30-minute ride up to the trail and you do trail riding, probably too much bike, but if you're doing a cross-country trip and you want to hit dirt roads along the way, really doesn't get much better than a 1250 GS.
And you can also spec out an R1250 GS Adventure, which gets you more suspension travel, crash protection, and a 7.9-gallon tank, which is a huge tank.
That's like huge.
Almost like a car-sized fuel tank.
Yeah, I think this bike gets 50-ish miles per gallon, so
that's a lot of range.
That's a lot of range. It's 400-ish, probably a little shy of 400 miles of range, which is incredible for a motorcycle.
And pricing, $20,345. So, yeah, it's not cheap, but that's a pretty kick-ass adventure bike.
Yeah, now moving on to the R1250 RT, this is basically going to use the same engine, but in a touring setup instead of an adventure setup. $19,695 starting for the R1250 RT. You've got some new colors for this year, a new option 719 Meteoric Dust 2 Metallic. You get pretty much all the same stuff you get in the GS Adventure. You do get some additional lighting on this bike, and also active cruise control is available, which is a really cool feature that's starting to trickle its way into a lot of motorcycles. We did some testing with it on some Ducatis in California. It's pretty cool tech.
Yeah, and then there's also the R1250R. All of these very German names, which is just combinations of numbers and letters, are kind of hard to keep track of. But the R1250R is good if you want a boxer engine in a more naked, upright bike. They're $14,995. And then, of course, we have to get back into some of the less extreme sport bikes.
Yeah, so the S1000 single R, the S1000R, that's basically your S1K, but with naked handlebars and not fully faired. So if you want something more comfortable, but you like that inline four, you like the leader bike style, 165 horsepower, 84 foot-pounds of torque, and right around $14,000, just shy of that. There's a new black color for this year. There's also a new bluestone metallic and black storm color. They all get tire pressure monitoring systems for this year, and they all get the premium package. There's the S1000R.
Yeah, sport bikes are all kind of the same to me.
That's how I feel about every bike in your garage. They're all the same. Your Honda and your Harley look identical.
Whatever, bro. There's also an S1000 XR that you can get from BMW, which is the same pretty much as the S1000R, but it's a sport tourer. So they change a few things about it. You get tire pressure monitoring and the comfort turn indicator setting that we've mentioned before. All of these also get the premium package. Pricing, $16,945, so more expensive, but that different sport touring style that I know a lot of people prefer. And then we get into the full-on touring bikes like the K1600 GT. Now, the reason you would pick a K1600 over an R18 is that the K1600 is a little bit more aggressive. It's not as laid back of a torquey bike as the R18, and the R18 is more nicely finished, more flashy. So the K1600 is a really great bike for doing massive long distances. The GT has a 1649cc inline 6-cylinder engine, 160 horsepower, 133 pound-feet of torque, so a lot more horsepower than the R18 for comparison. Bigger touring bikes, definitely expensive, kind of like sport bikes. But this is one of the cool things about BMW's lineup is that they have such a broad range of bikes. You can get everything from that $5,000 G310R all the way up to $30,000+ sport bikes like the M1000RR.
Yeah,
So
there's
it's
a lot
huge
there.
range.
And especially with that G310R, like it doesn't look like it's a slow bike. I like that if you buy into the BMW, even the lower entry models, it doesn't look like a budget motorcycle. It still looks like something you can look back at and be proud of and really just enjoy your first motorcycle for a lot of people.
And as always, make sure to go back to alltfl.com for the rest of our coverage for everything automotive, trucks, cars, and motorcycles. And be sure to check out TFL Bids because we have an awesome Honda CT70 going up for sale for auction very soon. That's going to be a sweet bike. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video.